This podcast is brought to you in part by PNP Games, your online source for everything video games. Visit their website at pnpgames.com or at one of their 3 retail locations in Winnipeg, Manitoba. All right, everybody, and welcome to the Nintendo Pulse, episode number 70. As always, I'm your host, Lloyd Hannison. Happy 2014, everybody. Joining me today, and as always, Stephen Munn. Stephen, how the heck are you?
I'm good, Lloyd. How about you?
You know, it's a new year, man. I haven't talked to you in a year. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. But I am good. Thanks for asking.
Good.
I had a little bit of a health thing happen over the holidays. Or actually last week, where I somehow got this crazy infection in my thumb that I had to go to the hospital for all these sorts of procedures and medicine and pointies and ooze and all that fun stuff. But I'm actually doing really good now. I couldn't play games, man, for about 5 days. I was jonesing really hard for some gaming. I had to watch my wife play Minecraft on PlayStation 3. So you know how much fun watching Minecraft is compared to playing it. At least I don't find it enjoyable to watch as much as play it. Yeah, I was. It was bad. I couldn't even slide to unlock my phone. I couldn't play iPad games because even if I was using my other hand to tap, it was hurting my other hand. It was bad, man. And yeah, like Foreman said in the chat room, Nintendo Thumb. That's exactly what I said when I was tweeting it. It's like, I thought Nintendo Thumb died in the 80s, but apparently it's back and it hurts. It does not feel good.
Now they call it Xbox Thumb.
They call it the X-Bone. I've been X-boned.
Which is actually your middle finger.
Yes. There you go. All right, man. Well, it's a new year. What do you say we get into the show?
Sure, why not? I'm not doing anything else tonight.
Jake Cargill is saying I should use my nose. That could work. Actually, I was playing PlayStation 3 with my chin. So I'd have my one analog stick with my chin moving my head around. And I found out that really didn't work so well. So I stopped that. But I tried. I really tried.
I can imagine that scene where you're sitting there alone in a darkened room with a DualShock 3 in your hand, holding it against your chin, trying to play it with a single tear rolling down your cheek.
I look like a
your
chicken.
Kids come in, Daddy, what's wrong? I'm such a failure.
Yeah, I look like a chicken. It was terrible. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm feeling a lot better because this would really suck if this continued for much longer. All right, man. Well, what do you say we get into the show?
Yeah, why not?
All right. Well, thanks again to PNP Games for sponsoring the podcast network through 2014, or at least to begin 2014. If you haven't checked them out, head on over to pnpgames.com. They're a local company that sells games, new and used, with I want to say a focus on retro because they love the retro just like I do. So if you're looking for some retro games, some older NES or Super Nintendo or N64 or whatever, check them out, pnpgames.com. They also do new, and if you're a local Winnipegger or if you live in Manitoba or if you're visiting, you can check out one of their 3 retail locations. So again, thanks to PNP Games for sponsoring the show. Check them out, pnpgames.com. All right. Wow, 2014, man. It's just weird. I look at that date at the top of our show notes, and it weirds me out every time. It does.
We're living in the future, man.
We are. Actually, Ken and Shane in the chat room is living in the future because he's in Australia. So he's really in the future.
Wow, cool. Yeah, it's tomorrow there already. Or as they call it in Australia, today.
Today, yeah. They say g'day today. All right, man. Until we upset any more people, what have you been playing? It's been about 3 weeks since our last show, I think. Is that about right? Something like that? 2 weeks, two and a half, something like that.
Yeah, we were planning to do one last week, and that didn't happen. Right?
Yeah.
Now it's both, Quacko. Now mostly the Bravely Default demo. Foreman's not going to be happy to hear that because he has no interest in Bravely Default, and somehow takes it very personally when other people talk about games that he's not interested in.
You can't like the game that I don't like.
Or not even that. He hasn't played it because it's like not his genre. It's not a genre.
You can't like the game I will never try.
Exactly.
Is that better?
Yep, that's very accurate. That actually sounds just like him too. He has a great form and impression there. It is.
I was working on that all vacation. It's
definitely shows. It's definitely coming through. So it's pretty much been all Bravely Default demo and Animal Crossing for me. So
nice. I wanted to boot up Animal Crossing for the New Year's Eve celebration, but I didn't.
Yeah, because you didn't have the use of your thumb, correct?
That's right.
You couldn't turn it on.
No, I could actually. I was okay then. It was shortly after then that I started having problems. And I was stupid because I waited way too long to go to the hospital, even though we have free healthcare up here. So there was no excuse for what I did. It was just ridiculous and stupid. Anyway. So
that's pretty much been it.
Bravely Default. That's what I have on my 3DS right now. I'm playing it.
I mean, I got the last bug. I got the last bug I needed for Animal Crossing just a few days ago.
Oh yeah, I guess it is the last. It was a January bug or was it a December bug?
I think it was January, but I'm not sure. It was whenever the snow shows up because you need the big snowballs to get the dung beetle because the dung beetle, they can't put dung in a.
Nintendo doesn't want to put poop in a kids game, a mostly kids game, really?
Right. It's one of those content guidelines, like breasts on statues and alcohol references
and feces. It's stuff that they don't do.
Right. So instead, you got to wait for snowballs because the dung beetle's always getting confused and rolling snowballs around because I'm sure that's something that they do so often.
Oh yeah, totally, 100%. I can see that happening all the time with all the dung beetles that we have in Manitoba, which we don't have any of them. So I don't know what I'm even saying. But yeah, cool. I should get in and get that. Although I did miss the September, November, and December bugs. So I'm still no better off than I would be from before. So I guess there's no point for me actually getting in there and playing it. But I did want to go see the fireworks. I got to be honest with you. I wanted to see what the celebration was like. Was it pretty impressive?
It was neat. I think my favorite part of the New Year's thing was when it's a few seconds before midnight, the little kiosk that has the 2014 on it and the countdown transforms. The top of it transforms so that the sign changes. It's really interesting. It just kind of folds over.
That's kind of cool. Huh. Interesting. Awesome. So that's pretty much all you've been doing.
That's pretty much it. It's been almost entirely consumed by Bravely Default. The Bravely Default demo, I've put more than 15 hours into the demo.
Wow.
And I still have 24 plays left on it, but I don't really need to play it anymore. Just want to...
Oh, Nintendo. Okay, well, let's talk about that game in a second. How about we talk a little bit about some of the stuff that I've been playing?
Okay.
I've been playing a fair bit of NES Remix on my Wii U. I picked that up pretty much on the day it was released, and been playing it, and I was so stoked for it. I was super excited. I loved every second of my play with it. And then I didn't all of a sudden. It was like this weird, like, I crossed a line, and all of a sudden it's just like, oh yeah, okay, this isn't so much fun anymore. So if you're not familiar, did we talk about it on the last show? No, I think it came out after our last show, and then I talked about it on the bonus stage maybe or something.
We talked about
we
the Nintendo Direct.
So yeah, we did talk about it.
And you were playing it when, before the show, but you'd only played it a little at that point.
That's right. Okay, cool. So the thing about the game that I kind of lost my love for it on is when you get deep in each of the game's challenges. So you'll be playing Super Mario Brothers, and there'll be 23 challenges you have to go through. They can't really change it that much. Like, they can't really get you to do too many really different things. Like, it's pretty much the same thing. It's like really repetitive, I guess. And to the point where I'm thinking to myself, while I'm trying to attack some of the later ones, I basically say, well, why aren't I just not playing Super Mario Brothers? Like, why am I doing this instead of Super Mario Brothers? So, yeah, I don't know. I haven't even unlocked the next set of games, so I'm still at the first group of 6 or whatever it was, 7. I'm gonna play it some more because I do want to unlock all the games. I want to play some of the Zelda bonuses or levels and things and some of the other ones. But yeah, it was like super awesome when I first started playing it, and then it quickly lost its luster for me. I'm not really sure why that happened. But yeah, so that's NES Remix. I'll probably talk about it a little bit more as the weeks and months tick on, because I'm still going to play it, just not as excited as I thought it would be for some strange reason. Other than that, I've been playing a bunch of stuff on my Vita. Picked up Tearaway. I've been playing Tearaway, which is really awesome. I've been playing a lot of PlayStation 3 pretty much over the holidays from just before Christmas to New Year's. All we did was play Minecraft on PlayStation 3. Between me, my two kids, and Kara, I think we put about 60 to 80 hours on the one world that we were playing on. And then we found out that the PlayStation 3 version of Minecraft has a bug. And the bug is it corrupts your save game. And then you lose everything that you had worked for about 80 hours or so. So that was what I learned. It was a very, very harsh lesson. So we've started over again, but I'm not really doing what I did before. Like I had all these machines to auto harvest food and make obsidian and do all these other things. And I had a huge tower and separate houses for the kids, and it was connected by like a series of underground tunnels, and there was a tree farm underground and all this stuff. Like I just went crazy and built all these really cool structures, and then I lost them all. So I'm not doing that for our new city that we started. We are we're just having fun. We're just digging and having fun. So I'm gonna wait until the patch comes, and I'm secretly crossing my fingers that the patch will fix my city that I created, although I'm sure there's a 99.99% chance that that won't happen. If it's corrupted for a reason. So that was a huge bummer. I was just like, it happened, and I'm just sitting there staring at the screen, like holding the controller, just like, what the hell? Kara's like, oh, all right, well, let's just start a new one. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, let's go dig. Let's start a new one. We'll just get all the stuff again. I'm like, no, but we lost all the stuff. She's like, oh, it doesn't matter. We'll just start a new one. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, this is kind of like Lego. Like you play it and it breaks, and then you just make something else, and then you break it, and then you make something else. So maybe I shouldn't focus on Minecraft as like a big world that I'm generating and just go and have fun with it. But anyway, that's the game that I pretty much spent the most of the holidays on, and it's not even a Nintendo game, so I don't know why I'm spending so much time talking about it.
Okay, yeah, there was some buzz I remember within the past couple of weeks, a rumor that there was a version of Minecraft coming for I may have been just generally Nintendo platforms, but yeah, I would think Wii U would be the best one there. And then Notch said he had no idea. He was not aware of any version being in development for Nintendo platforms because they're just too busy with the other versions.
Yeah, and the odd thing with this is it's not even Notch's team that is working on the console versions. It's a third-party company that they contracted to do it. They did the Xbox version, they did the PlayStation 3 version, they're doing the Vita, the PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One version. So they're going to be pretty busy just keeping all those ports up to date. And the funny thing is the port, like the version of Minecraft that you're playing, is probably about a year, almost close to a year and a half old compared to what's on the PC. So it's already way behind where the PC version is. And then they have like 7,000 different ports. Well, I guess it's more like 6, but it might as well be like 7,000 for how hard it's going to be to keep them all feature complete and up to date with each other and the main version of Minecraft. It seems like they're just setting themselves up for failure, which is really kind of odd. But anyway, the version that's out is a lot of fun. The worlds are really damn small, which is the only unfortunate part, but we've been having a lot of fun with it. So Minecraft. All right, but like you, Steven, I've also been playing the Bravely Default demo. I've actually went out and pre-ordered the game, so I'll be picking it up on the 7th of February or whenever it comes out. I wasn't really sure what to expect. I watched the Nintendo Direct, and it was like, sleep points, yeah, don't really care about that. Bunch of other weird things about it. But then I started reading a little bit more about what the game is about, and it's essentially it's a Final Fantasy game, although it's not a Final Fantasy game. it to me it would be like something like Final Fantasy Mystic Quest without the Final Fantasy name on top of it. It's shares a lot of the mechanics, but it's not a true Final Fantasy game. So once I read that, I'm like, okay, I love Final Fantasy. So maybe this is going to be kind of like a return to the older school versions of Final Fantasy, not like 11, 12, 13, 14, 26, whatever is out now. And then I read a couple other articles about it, and people are really comparing it to Final Fantasy V, which I really dug. And immediately downloaded the demo and talked to you on Twitter saying, I have no idea what I'm doing. What am I doing wrong? And apparently that was everything. I went in there, changed my jobs, equipped my characters, and it's like, oh my god, I'm killing things now. The little frog isn't shooting my face off anymore, or whatever the first beast I fought was. I think it was a scorpion or something.
Yeah.
I really dig it. I really really kind of like it. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Steven?
I think it's great. I thought one of the things I think is neat is that they made this little self-contained demo environment that's separate from what the full game is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So it's supposed to be a new area. I don't know if the monsters are new and everything like that, but it's supposed to take about 8 hours to get through the demo. And, I think I had probably beaten all of the bosses and everything probably in about there, maybe between 6 and 8 hours. I've seen people who have done it in a bit less than that and mentioned it to me on Twitter. But there's so much content in there. And like you have the No-Rend village, which is almost like a little tiny tower style thing, in the sense that it takes certain amounts of time to clear parts of the village, and the more people you have in there, the faster things get done. Yeah. And you get people in there by street pass tagging other people who have the game and have street pass activated. So it's neat. It works really, really well, and the graphics are gorgeous. I mean, the art style is really, really nice. The music sounds good. I mean, the central town that they have in there, and there's only one town in the demo. It's like this gigantic clock. Yeah, it's so cool.
And it looks like it's like a watercolor painting as well. Like it's just like this full painted background that you're playing on. It's really interesting. I dig it. I really, really dig it. I think it's I think it's going to be a fun game. To me, it's getting back to what I really loved about Final Fantasy when I was a kid, just the exploration and leveling up.
Exactly.
We'll see how crazy that is. Like, we'll see how crazy the amount of leveling one will have to do to play this game and how much grinding it is. Because I don't have all the time in the world like I did when I was a kid, where I could sit there and grind because I had nothing better to do. So hopefully they've balanced out the grinding to story ratio a little bit. But yeah, I really dig the demo. I'm as just like you. I appreciate the fact that it's its own thing, that it's not part of the game, that it's not a carved out section that you'll be experiencing in the full version, that they took the time to create something new for people to experience. And the fact that when you play this game, you'll be able to take some of what you did back into the full game. So you'll be able to, you do certain things and you unlock these little kits, these little collections of items that you'll be able to take in the full game. And also you can take over up to 20 villagers that you've unlocked into the full version, which is going to be a huge bonus when you start out in the version. Because what the villagers do is they speed up the amount of time it takes to like upgrade different structures and other things like that. You start with none, you get given one, and everything takes like 20 minutes or whatever. But for every extra villager, it cuts the time in half. Almost. For the first few, it cuts it in half, and then it gets a little bit less than half as you go further on. But that's going to be huge for the start of the game. You can build out your little village or whatever the No-Rend-like village is going to be in the full version. I don't know.
I think it's going to be the same one, because if you look at that village, even when you have it all the way done, there's still parts of it that sit in ruin that you can't continue to develop. So I figure it's probably the rest of that village.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that part of the game is really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I really dig it. I'm really quite excited for what this game is going to become once it comes out. It's been out in Japan for quite a while now, right? Almost a year.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
So I mean, it's not like this is new or anything. This has been something that's been out for a while. So it's gotten good reviews. I guess that's why people wanted it to come to North America. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it. I'm picking up whatever the collector's edition is. It comes with extra swag, just because. Yeah, I don't know. I really dig it. So you'll definitely hear more about this from me and from you as well, Stephen. And
absolutely.
That is Bravely Default. Go download a demo if you have a 3DS and you want to play a neat Japanese RPG, very old school Japanese RPG. Download it, and if you don't like it, well, you can be like Foreman and just delete it, or not even download it in the first place. Right, Foreman?
Yeah, cool. They innovated quite a bit. I think the battle system is really interesting. It's got a lot of stuff in it that I've never seen before. The way the magic works is just like in the original Final Fantasy, where you buy the magic once and everybody has access to it, except that's a little different even from the first Final Fantasy, because in that one you had to buy one copy of each type of magic for each character.
Yeah.
Like you only have to buy Cura, for example, once. Mm-hmm. You buy it, you put it in a shared inventory, and everybody who has the ability to cast a level 3 white magic spell can cast that spell.
Exactly.
Which is cool. Yeah. Foreman's copy of the game was pre-deleted.
Yeah, he didn't pre-order. He pre-deleted it.
It's not his genre. He likes Grand Theft Auto, Call of Duty, Halo.
He's a dude bro. So he likes all those dude bro games.
Any game where you can shoot someone in the face and steal from prostitutes.
And the more sexism, the better. He loves that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sexist games are right up his alley.
And Katamari Damacy.
And Nobi Nobi Boy for different reasons.
Yes.
Kyle K in the chat room is asking that there's some difference with the localization and people are mad about the changes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing it from Japan to North America, they change a lot of stuff. They take out some of the sexuality. They take out some of the things like in Japan, I think all of the characters are like 16. In North America, all the characters are like 19. So they change it because it's a different culture. I guess there's a lot of people that are upset about it, but there's a lot of people that like stupid things. So what are you going to say about it? Or some people like the worst things too. They like the worst stuff. So
they do. They like the worst stuff. Foreman says his favorite thing about RPGs when he was a kid was punching the face of the kids who played RPGs. That does sound like a dude bro.
That's awesome. He's pretty dude bro-y. Awesome. Okay, so that's enough Bravely Default. The game comes out first week of February, so we'll be talking about that more on the show when it comes out.
We'll have one podcast all about it.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. And that's also been undownloaded from Foreman, so he's ahead of the curve there.
Yes,
for us. All right, so let's move on. Notable releases. So, Steven, what came out in this last week or so?
The 3 releases that I think are the most significant are Gradius, which just came out on the Wii U Virtual Console either today or yesterday. That is the NES version of Gradius. Dr. Luigi came out on the Wii U eShop on the last day of December.
It's $15 though, man.
It is, yeah, and I'm a little bit annoyed at that.
I bought it on the Wii for $10, and this doesn't do much more. It just makes it easier to play. I don't know. I'm kind of ticked off of that.
$5 Luigi surcharge.
It's the Wii U because you can use the gamepad now, so they want to charge you more money for that.
Yeah,
and the pills, they're in HD compared to the SD of before.
They are, and you can move them around on the touchpad, which is probably a really, really stupid way to play the game, I think.
It's a pharmacist simulator when you're counting pills as a pharmacist.
That would be cool, actually. And then Chibi Robo Photo Finder came out today on 3DS eShop, and I'm pretty excited about that because I've enjoyed what I've played of the Chibi Robo series, which is really just the first one on GameCube.
Sure.
So
are you going to pick this one up?
Really, I want to. I don't know how much it is. Do you?
It's $10.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's funny that this Chibi Robo Photo Finder
is a full game.
It's $10, and then Dr. Luigi is $15.
But it's on the 3DS, so it's not in HD. So that's where the extra money comes from. It's all about the HDs.
I guess
the H and the Ds, they cost money.
Yep. There's more P's there.
You pay by the P.
Yes,
just like when you go to a bulk barn or something, you pay by the pound. This one in these games, you pay by the P. So it's good.
Yeah, Quacko pointed out that there is a Chibi Robo game on DS, but I have not played it. What I meant when I said what I've played of the Chibi Robo series, which is pretty much just the one on the GameCube. I meant the only one that I had played in the series was the one on GameCube.
Yep.
But I am aware of the Walmart exclusive one on the DS.
Yeah,
Park Patrol.
Yeah,
I believe
Park
it was
Patrol.
called. I never actually played it though.
The
I don't know.
recycle people, save the planet.
And shop at Walmart.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure there's something like that in there too.
Nice. Awesome. Okay, well, let's move on. Deals. You have one deal to talk about this week, Steven.
Yeah, I mean, they're still rolling through those various Atlas sales on the 3DS eShop.
Right.
A lot of games for $19.99, which really isn't much of a sale. But
really.
you know, they're rolling through them. They have a different one every week. But the big deal is for people who were holding off, waiting for. Foreman's going to like me talking about this. Is for people who were holding off and hadn't bought Wonderful 101 yet.
His favorite game.
The game dropped in price from. It was pretty much cycling between $50 and $60 before Christmas.
Yep.
And then now various stores have had it in the range of $30 to $35 just about everywhere. Last time I looked on Amazon, it was at $35. I bought it on there when it was $30. So if you were thinking about getting Wonderful 101, now is probably the time to get it. I mean, of course, it will eventually go down in price. But if you have the time you want to play it now, there it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, as Quacko pointed out, they still have that Mario and Luigi Dream Team bundle, which is the silver 3DS XL with Mario and Luigi kind of lasered into the front or whatever they are.
Right.
And that is $150. And I think that might be a Walmart exclusive, but I'm not sure.
I'm not positive on that. I'm not positive on that as well. Yeah, it's a really good deal.
Yeah,
it's a really good deal.
Yeah, if you're still looking for a 3DS XL, that's a pretty good price.
So you picked up Wonderful 101?
I did, yeah. I haven't opened it yet, though, because the Bravely Default demo has been completely consuming, all my attention since that came out.
Sure.
I've been excited about Bravely Default since they started showing videos of it before it came out in Japan. So it's something that I've had my eye on for quite some time.
Wow. I
played the previous game in the Bravely Default series.
Okay.
So it was not as good as Bravely Default.
This is the first I've heard of it. It was really the Nintendo Direct that really kind of made my ears perk up about it. Because with a stupid name like that, I'm more inclined to just ignore it.
Yeah, it's kind of a dumb name, but it does suit the game. I mean, it's a reference to the battle system. So,
yep.
The previous game was Final Fantasy IV Warriors of Light.
Right.
And it's kind of a spiritual successor to that. So.
Very cool. Awesome. So go pick up your cheap Wonderful 101 if that's what you want. I will pass. The demo did not do it for me, unfortunately.
Yeah, me neither. I'm hoping it comes together later in the game or earlier in the game, depending on where that is.
Awesome. All right, cool. Let's move on. Let's get into the news. First off, if you got a new Nintendo device for the holidays and you tried to get onto the eShop or connect or do anything, you probably had issues. Nintendo's the Nintendo network and the eShops and everything across the Wii U and the 3DS pretty much were down for a good portion of the holidays. Nintendo had some major problems, and they basically had to they had to basically put windows into place where it was only open for certain parts of the day, so that they could work on it. And they even issued an apology for it. So you guys have probably figured this out already. It's well after the holidays, so you've probably gotten on and you've created your Nintendo Network ID on your 3DS, and you've merged your coin purses across both platforms and all the other stuff that you can do. But just wanted to mention it here to begin with, just to acknowledge that, yes, we did hear it. You don't have to email in that we should have talked about it because Nintendo's already apologized. The services are all up and running, and I think everything is good to go. I don't even think I went into the eShop at all over the holidays, so I never noticed any impact at all. I think the only thing I didn't get was maybe my Miiverse icon didn't light up on my 3DS at all over the holidays. Not that I can remember, but into the new year, it started turning blue all the time, so I was getting a lot of messages and likes and follows and stuff like that. So I don't know, how about you, Steven? Did you try to get on the eShop over the holidays and just start crying in your hands because it wasn't working?
No, I was aware of the outage because I saw about it online. I had one thing that I wanted to do on there. I don't remember what it was that I wasn't able to do. I couldn't get into the into the eShop when I wanted to for something.
Sure.
And then like you, I started getting blue lights on my system again, where Nintendo was sending letters to my Animal Crossing village with a couple of DLC items right to my mailbox. So that was nice.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't know they did that. I should go check it. Get my free swag.
Yeah.
Although I haven't played before, so they probably have just repossessed my house. It's like, you haven't been using it, so we've taken all your stuff and everything that you've put into the museum. Play the game.
And Nook's got a strip club and a casino
Yeah.
on the site where your house used to be.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. I might play the game more if that was the case. All right, let's get into some Pokemon theme news. Just as a quick aside, my kids are playing the card game. Oh, there we go. I had to reach over and grab them. So I'm playing Pokemon cards with my kids because I have to teach them how to play, and I don't know how to play. So this is going to be interesting for the both of us. Right now, we're just collecting and starting out. So I'm now that guy that is going to be playing Pokemon cards with his kid. So I mean, that's kind of fun. That's
cool.
I got some cool things, cool creatures and cards and stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun. And also we've been watching a lot of the original TV show, which has been kind of interesting to see that. I'm kind of getting all into Pokemon. It's bizarre. I'm playing the games, I'm watching the TV shows, I'm playing the cards. It's like I'm 12 and it's 1998, but that's not the case. It's just some Pokemon news right off the top. Foreman likes me now. He didn't like me before, but now he likes me because I'm a Pokemaster. That's just terrible. Anyway, Pokemon X and Y. It's been reported that in Japan they've sold over 4 million units since launch, which is a large number. It's been out for less than 3 months, 2 and change, and it sold 4 million. So this is a really good seller for Nintendo. They did good releasing this one. There's been some other news and notes coming out. I guess one of the bigger ones is that if you're going to be taking part in the Pokemon Winter Regional Championships that are going to be all over the U.S., they're only going to be using Pokemon X and Y. So all the other games have been supplanted. It's now just Pokemon X and Y. So this is going to be the game for people that are into the battling thing. Something that I still don't understand, but it's a thing that happens, and you could be the U.S. national champ for Pokemon. And they're going to be using the new Pokemon X and Y. And last but not least, the Pokemon Bank and the Pokemon Transporter are still not out. Nintendo's talking that even though they're supposed to be out on the 27th, because of all the network issues that they're having, they postponed the release. They haven't said exactly when this is going to happen. I'm hoping sooner rather than later, because I'd like to get my free character and then never boot it up again. But hopefully those will be coming out in the near future. When they do, we'll definitely talk about it on the show. Sounds like a really cool thing. And I know there's already been a lot of people that I was talking to that are basically buying old Pokemon cartridges and DS cartridges and all that, so that they can extract all of the Pokemon that they maybe don't have and then upload it into the cloud through like transferring it from one to another to the Wii to the 3D to the DS to the 3DS. Like it's going to be like it's a huge process to get it from older cartridges, but they're doing it, and they're buying a bunch of old versions of the game so they can do just that. I don't understand that, but that's what they do. In fact, I was talking to one guy who was offering real cash money for a super rare Pokemon from an earlier version. So there's people that, and this is like a digital one, like in a cartridge, not like a card, which I can kind of understand because I can hold it in my hand and put it in a hard plastic and put it in a safe deposit box. But no, this is just a real digital version on a cartridge. So a lot of people are crazy about their Pokemons, and I guess I'm kind of getting into that because I have children that are into it, that draw stuff and play it with friends at school, and it's just all weird. I don't know.
This is the end for you, Logan.
I don't know what's happening to me, man. I used to stay as far away as I could from this IP. Now I have a shiny Snorlax that I can play in the card game.
I'm surprised they didn't take care of that when they were working on your thumb.
I know. That's what I said. I'm like, my Snorlax, it's kind of shiny. I said, that's all right, kid. That's what happens when you play with your Pokemon too much.
They're like, well, if we do something, for your shiny Snorlax, that'll hurt anyway, so we're not going to do it.
Exactly. So yeah, Pokemon. It's a thing, and I got to catch them all. Apparently.
He said resignedly. Gotta catch them all, apparently.
I guess, yes. I even have like a Pokeball that for each of the kids. They wanted a Pokeball, so now they have these little plastic Pokeballs with little tiny Pokemon inside of them. Dude, what's happening to me? What is happening to me?
I'm not equipped or qualified to answer that question.
I would ask online, but I might get some weird virus or something hanging out talking about those things online. So maybe I'll just avoid it altogether.
You got to go to WebMD.
Yes, WebMD, the Poka MD, and figure all that stuff out. All right, moving on. This came out earlier this week, and some hackers called Team Nintendo Region Free have basically found a way to hack their 3DSs to enable games from other regions to play. It only works with physical cartridges, so it's not a way for piracy, which is good. The one drawback is it only works with 3DSs that have firmware version 4.1 or to 4.5. So if you're running the new version that has Miiverse integration and all that stuff, it's too late. That's like version 6 or 7 or 27 or something.
I guess the version that made this, that closed the loophole for this exploit, is like 9 months old or something like that. So if you've updated it all, pretty much, you can't do this.
If the little blue light on your 3DS annoys you, you've probably updated past the point where you can actually use this. But it's kind of neat that people are still looking at it. I still don't understand why Nintendo just doesn't unlock these systems. And then I also don't understand why, if people are wanting to play imported games, why they just don't import a 3DS as well, and then not have to deal with like crying on forums online. But that's just me. But if you have an older 3DS, or maybe you just picked up a new one that hasn't been updated because it was on Walmart shelves for 9 months, and then you bought it on like Boxing Day or something and didn't update it, you can now basically import games and play them after you've run this little trick. But anyway,
it's a custom firmware.
Yeah, is that what it is? It's a full custom firmware that you load. I didn't look much into it because my 3DS is way past the point where it would actually be useful.
Yeah, mine too.
All right, so that's a thing. We'll post a link in the show notes if you want to check out more. Nintendo's announced that they have killed the NES Remix contest that they had planned. This, I guess, came out shortly after the game came out. They were talking about some high score contests, and they were basically going to have an official high score list. And if you would submit your screenshot and do all this fun stuff, people found that if you hit the pause button, it pauses the game, obviously. But when you unpause the game, there's a split second between when the action starts and when the actual timer starts. So people were basically pausing, moving a little bit, unpausing, or pausing, unpausing, moving a little bit, pausing, unpausing, moving a little bit, unpausing, and the time wasn't going up at all. So people are getting ridiculous scores, like 0.01 seconds for some of the things that should take like 20 or 30 seconds. So that exploit basically caused Nintendo to cancel the official contest, which is a kind of a weird contest anyway, because you're taking like Miiverse posts and things and posting online. It's not like there's like a global leaderboard for everybody that's played the game. I think there's just a leaderboard for your friends. Anyway, it's bizarre and weird, but people had to go and find exploits and ruin it for everybody else, as the internet is wont to do. So yeah, if you wanted to take place, Steven, you've lost your chance. Sorry,
I had no interest. I picked up NES Remix, but I haven't even played it. I think I booted it up once, but I didn't have time to play it. So,
yep.
Maybe Nintendo will patch it, fix that exploit, wait to see if another one surfaces, and then if they're going to do a contest, particularly one with prizes, they need to make sure that that code is solid.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Cool. All right, moving on. This came out on NeoGAF. Apparently, Nintendo filed for a trademark for the Eternal Darkness series. They've renewed it a couple times, even though nothing else has actually come out. just the initial game. Well, it's been reported that Nintendo now has 36 months to make something, do something, anything with that trademark. Otherwise, their trademark request will be overturned, and the name Eternal Darkness will no longer be owned by Nintendo, which is weird. I didn't think that could happen. I thought if you owned an IP and you applied to have that trademark extended, that it would just happen. But I guess there is some things that will change that. I'll post a link to the NeoGAF thread, but it's something about where the trademark reporting and monitoring system, they list all the trademarks and maybe manage it that way. And if nothing new happens, or if you haven't released anything to do with that trademark, you'll lose it. I guess a lot of companies don't really keep trademarks forever without really doing anything with it. So maybe that's what it is. Not really sure. But anyway, Nintendo needs to do something with Eternal Dark. I guess like something as little as releasing the original on like Virtual Console would be enough to maintain their trademark. They probably don't have to come out with a whole new game, I wouldn't think. But I don't understand trademark law.
Yeah, I don't. This seems strange to me too.
I am not a lawyer.
Yeah.
Apparently, I can't drink from a can either without spilling it all over my microphone.
Lloyd has a drinking problem.
I do. All right, moving on. Last but not least, earlier this month, on the 2nd or the 3rd, a tweet came out from Jules Watcham, basically saying, FPS lovers, there is a, let me get to the actual tweet. Of course, this doesn't link directly to the tweet. This said something about people that love FPSs. Some good news is coming later this month, which basically means that hopefully they're going to be coming out with 3DS versions of their old FPSs like Moon, or maybe this means that they're going to come up with new versions of their FPSs, which were really, really good back in the day. So, Steven, have you ever played any of these, the Renegade Kid first-person shooters?
Yes, I played all of them except for Demantium 2. Okay. I think that all of them is only 2 games, though, outside of those. Outside of that one. Yeah, so I played Demantium the Ward to completion, and I played Moon to completion. I reviewed them for Aeropause when I used to work there.
I love them. I still have them somewhere. I have to find them. They're on my shelf
somewhere. Those were really, really good games. I really especially enjoyed Moon. But Demantium was nice and scary and
it was well made. It was an actual first-person shooter that you were playing on the DS, which was at the time seemed just, I don't know, like magic or witchcraft or something. So I guess what this means, if I could guess, is that he's going to be coming out with probably Demantium, the Ward first, because that was the first one, I believe, and releasing a remake for the 3DS. He has since then posted some comments on different weblogs and forums. So people are asking about, does this mean that they're going to have multiplayer or anything like that? They've come out and said that, well, our original first-person shooters were full single-player experiences. We don't anticipate any multiplayer stuff happening. But they've also not said exactly what the release that we should be excited for is either. Yeah. So if it's a new game, maybe we'll have multiplayer. Who knows? Either way, this is really cool for us 3DS owners that maybe want to play a really fun first-person shooter. If you play it with some better graphic fidelity and some better features and some lighting and all this other stuff, make a game that looks really decent on the DS look really awesome on the 3DS. I'm all for that, and I'm super excited. Yeah. So we'll be watching Renegade Kid. We'll be watching Jules Watcham.
Now just a few months ago, he was tweeting about how the distribution rights for Moon were about to revert to Renegade Kid.
Oh, really?
Within the next couple of months. I think he said like February 2014 or something like that. You know, in February 2014, the distribution rights for Moon will revert to Renegade Kid. And then he just put a smiley after that. That's what I remember his tweet saying. Nice. And everybody was like, oh, so you're going to put Moon on the eShop and something like that? And I don't think he ever answered that question. But that's what I'm assuming that this is.
Yeah. for him to
related
tweet in January that later this month we'll have more news. That seems pretty much the thing. I mean that's got to be it. Cool.
So maybe it's the re-release of Moon on the eShop ported for 3DS. Maybe it's a sequel to Moon. Who knows?
Maybe it's both.
Could be.
That'd be good. Cool. He's also tweeted that their game Bomb Monkey is receiving a permanent price drop from $4.99 down to $2.99. Didn't really put it in the show notes, but that is also a thing. So if you wanted to pick up Bomb Monkey, you can for cheaper.
I'll put that on my list of things that I hadn't considered before because I've never even heard of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Bomb Monkey is permanently dropping in price on Nintendo eShop from $4.99 to $2.99 next Thursday, January 16th. He told us to start saving our e-pennies.
At last.
Yes. Bomb Monkey for everybody. Yeah, I don't even know what that is either. All right, cool. So yeah, we'll look forward to some more news as the time ticks. Hopefully it is Moon. I really loved Moon. I'd even play Dementium again. Any of them really. But I just love everything Renegade Kid does. They're good developers.
Yeah, those were cool games.
Way back in the day, like the fact that you're playing a full first person shooter on something that has been said could never run a full first person shooter was just like this shouldn't work, and it's awesome. I really dug it. As rudimentary as they were, they still looked and played and sounded great. So I'm looking forward to it.
You know what a huge fan of Metroid I am, and particularly of Metroid Prime.
Yep.
I never managed to get through Metroid Prime Hunters for DS.
Yeah.
I actually thought Dementium was a better game.
It definitely was. Yeah. I have Metroid Prime Hunters, and I remember just getting frustrated with it at one point. It was just so cumbersome and hard to control. Yeah. And then this game came out, and it's just like, what? How does this work? This is awesome. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to whatever Renegade Kid is bringing out next. Yep. All right, man, that's going to about do it for this episode. Let's turn down the music. Let's start some stuff. Let us know what you think of Nintendo Pulse in 2014. We want to hear from you. Head on over to VGPodcast.com and let us know your thoughts. You can call us at 505-VG-Podcasts or head over to forums at VGPodcast.com/forums. Either way, we want to talk to you guys. We want to have a lot more user interaction in 2014. Steven, thanks again for joining me for another year of Nintendo Pulse.
Cool. It's good to be starting again.
It is. My New Year's resolution is to miss less shows this year, so hopefully that pans out.
Well, I'll be here then. I have to give the show 2 thumbs up.
Nice.
I'm going to lift your injured thumb?
I can only give 1. I don't want to show the front of my thumb because it's still pretty gross, so I'll just put it up facing away from the camera. All right, everybody, take it easy, and we'll talk to you in about a week's time for more Nintendo Pulse.